So, the Department of Justice is alleging that Uber drivers routinely refuse to transport blind passengers with service dogs or even just regular passengers with service animals, often canceling these trips the moment they realize that an animal is involved. So, the complaint details experiences from over like a dozen riders who failed or faced discrimination and have been stuck with cleaning fees from these service animals. So, according to the lawsuit, passengers with disabilities have been left stranded in like bad weather and have missed critical appointments due to these cancellations because of their service animals. So, here's the reality check for the drivers. You have no right to refuse a service animal, period. Federal and state ADA laws are crystal clear on this, and Uber's service agreement that you signed when you started driving for Uber, well, that makes it a binding agreement. Even as an independent contractor, you are still bound by these agreements. Even these exceptions that don't work either, like, oh, I have allergies, or, oh, it's against my religion or cultural objections, or I have a fear of animals, or I have maybe you had like previous bad experiences with pets and you turned off Uber Pet. Well, all that doesn't matter because it is an ADA law and it's state law and it's a federal law. Now, you may think, all right, well, these people have a service animal and they just say it is, but it's just a regular pet. They don't want to pay the fee. Well, that's fine. But what can you do about it? Well, you can ask legally two questions. You can say, hey, is this animal needed because of a disability? And then what work or task has this animal been trained to perform? Now, you may not request any type of documentation. There is no requirement that a service animal or a assistance animal, whichever one you want to call it, has to wear a tag, has to be registered, or has to display any type of proof. So it is a gray area and it's hard. Some people do take advantage of it, but honestly, not much you can really do about it. So, maybe you get an animal and you think, well, I don't believe that's a service animal. Well, this is what happens if you refuse that service animal. On your first offense, it's an immediate temporary suspension pending an investigation. Now, if it's a confirmed violation, if they confirm that you literally canceled the ride or you try to charge a cleaning fee or anything that happened, well, it's permanent deactivation from the platform. So, getting back to on the platform after a service animal refusal is really hard, and a lot of drivers actually never get back on it. So Uber's known about this lawsuit that might happen for a while now, and so they started to take proactive measures. So in February 2025, well, Uber introduced a new feature for passengers with service animals in the US that allows the rider to notify their driver that, hey, I have a service animal. So when you pick them up, you already know that they have a service animal. Now, they do send out emails periodically to all of us drivers stating, hey, look, these are the ADA requirements and their zero tolerance policy, all that. So Uber does do all this stuff. They have known that there's a chance this lawsuit might be coming, even though it hadn't been filed yet. I'm sure they had warnings and they had threats, all this different stuff. So they've been trying to take proactive measures. They've been trying to warn you guys. So be on the lookout for it. But let me break down what you can do. So I already went over the two questions that you can ask, and you could go on Uber's service thing, and actually I'll put it right here to where it shows you can ask these two questions, about what task it's trained for and then what type of disability it's for. But even asking those questions, kind of a gray area, I wouldn't advise doing it. So here's a few things I suggest that you can do. First of all, don't refuse anybody that has a pet that says it's a service animal. Just take them, no matter how you feel about it. If you want to keep your job, just take them and just deal with it. You might have to clean up afterwards, but that's just how it is. Keep a dash cam. keep that dash cam, because that way if somebody says, oh, he refused me, I had a service animal, you can prove the fact that they didn't have a service animal, or you can prove the fact that you gave them the ride. So make sure you have that dash cam, and make sure you keep that recording. Anytime you have somebody with a service animal, I would recommend never deleting that footage at all. And then on the third thing you can really do is don't charge a cleaning fee for a service animal. Okay, some dogs shed. Maybe they don't take very good care of their dog. Maybe their dog's not even really a service animal, but there's nothing you can really do about it. So when you drop them off, if it makes a mess, just go and clean it up. Just bite the bullet. It is what it is. It's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes in life, something happens. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to move on and just deal with it. So go clean it up, take your time out in the day, do it, whatever. But do not charge them a cleaning fee, because if you do, they're going to refund that money, or they're not going to give it to you, and you just paid $250 or whatever for no reason. So just go clean it yourself. Just make it easy. Do these 3 things and you shouldn't have any issues, because you're going to get people that do abuse the system. But you know what? That's with any type of thing. There's always bad apples, but there's nothing you can do about it. So if you want to continue to drive, well, make sure you take anybody that says they have a service animal, make sure you got a dash cam, and then make sure you do not charge them a cleaning fee. And let's take a break for a minute from this segment. And just remember, guys, you got a 14-day trial for that Gridwise app. It's in the link in the description. You'll see one on the QR code on here if you want to scan that. But if you're watching on your phone, obviously you can't scan it. I still put it on there anyways because it's on your TV. But there's a link in the description, 14-day trial. It's an affiliate link. It does help the channel. But hey, I use it. I'm going to show you guys how much I use it as I travel. So like and subscribe. Click that link, 14-day trial. Try it out. It does help. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. So at the end of the day, guys, I know this whole thing is frustrating sometimes when you see somebody, they come and they say, hey, I got a service animal. And you know what? They're probably abusing it. That's not a service animal. But the whole independent contractor status doesn't protect you from the ADA requirements or Uber's policy. So the legal reality is that Uber's contract with drivers requires that the drivers to follow the ADA requirements. So when you sign that whole terms of service, or anytime they updated terms of service, whatever, and you clicked OK and then you continue to drive, well, you're binded to that agreement through a legal document. So whether or not they're going to come back on you guys or any of us, I don't know. I mean, how are they going to? I mean, if you got deactivated, maybe they could try to sue you, but at the end of the day, what are they going to get from you? You know, I mean, I don't really understand that whole thing. Is if you try to sue me if I don't have anything, well, what are you going to get? You're going to put a lien on what? I don't own anything. So that's the whole point. What are you going to do? So at the end of the day, if you want to keep driving, if somebody has that service animal, just give them the ride. You know, it sucks. People abuse the system, but you know what? That's just life. It's just one ride. You'll get over it. It's not going to be a big deal. I had Uber Pet on for a while. I gave people rides. Then I started to see all these crazy stories on Reddit, and I turned it off. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? All those little few stories, those bad things that happen, how many rides are given in a day? How many in a year, in a week, whatever? That's so rare. So for me to let some Reddit post dictate what I do, well, if it's something crazy like that, it's crazy that I even let it do that. But sometimes you do have to be proactive. But certain things, there's nothing you can do. You can't be proactive. You got to follow the guidelines. You got to follow the rules. You're binded by a legal agreement, and it's a state law, so you have to do it. This whole law about ADA requirements is no different than the fact that, hey, you got to have insurance to drive. So all that stuff is state laws. You've got to abide from it. So let me know if you had any questions or any answers, or how do you guys feel about it? So thank you guys. I do appreciate it. So like and subscribe, and I got some more updates on the trip coming here soon.